Hi and welcome back to StudioScents. I'm Tommy. You ever have one of those days where something happens so frequently that you begin to question whether it's a coincidence or not? Like for example, 3 of your favorite songs playing back to back on a radio station that doesn't play your kind of music? Or just something that makes you go, Is it here? I don't know. And I happened to come across a fragrance that I had heard absolutely nothing about, so I blind bought it. So of course, as happens when you think you're the only person to buy the plum crazy purple Dodge Challenger and then you hop in it and drive around, you see them everywhere. Literally everywhere. And that's exactly what happened with this fragrance. As soon as I bought it, the fragrance was still in the bag. Google Home Hub began playing Frags to Riches. Gentleman was talking about Office for Men and comparing it between Dior Sauvage, I believe. If I can find it, I'll show you a thumbnail. The Dior Sauvage and Office for Men. At exactly the part where he mentions this fragrance, and I think he even went to go get his bottle of it, I actually pulled out mine. And that's when I began to see this fragrance pop up everywhere, and people's opinions varied from it's a complete trash to it's a great fragrance belonging to any classic man's ensemble. Which is why I've decided to give my first impression of my blind buy, Ermenegildo Zegna's UOMO. All right, so let's break into this designer fragrance and see what we think of UOMO. I'm gonna get in here. I always feel like it's Christmas whenever I start breaking into something that makes a crinkling sound. One thing you'll notice about UOMO is its weight. I mean, if weight were an indicator of quality, you know you've got a quality product with this in your hand. You could do some van damage with this thing, honestly. It is extremely heavy. There's either a lot of glass there or they're using lead as an ingredient. I haven't read anything about, although I read some first impressions of the notes that are in this, I haven't read anything about the bottle itself. Ooh, I kind of like that. Check that out. Wow. Okay. I really like that. So there's actually a tactile feel to the bottle itself. There's ridges, as you can hear and see, and the ridges create a really nice design on the front and the back and through the bottle. It carries on into the lid, so from plastic to glass, they carry the same ridge design. So I do like that. As you can see, the name is imprinted at the very bottom, UOMO. There's nothing on the back, and on the bottom, I would say, yes. So you've got your product information and your batch code. And let's see, I will turn this side. That way you can kind of see. If I can hold that, center it enough. And there's a gnat on the bottle. So directly from the box into my hand, this is a really nice looking presentation. The bottle is very, very heavy and it's very nice looking. I like the color. It's kind of cloudy. It's got kind of a grayish, so I like that. It's got kind of a mysterious air to it. Now let's check out the cap. The cap is also a little curious, but it is really nice. The cap does click on fairly well. On the very top, you can see Ermenegildo Zegna's name, the designer, on the top. Nothing else though. Let's see if it stands the test of holding the bottle. Even though that bottle is extremely heavy, as bottles go, you can still hold it up by the cap and it's not going to fall off. So that's really good. Now let's check out the spray pattern or array and see if it is just a wide cloud or if it's a little bit more focused. Whoa. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna just spray some on me. Right here. Okay. I'm getting a lot of, like, the first sensation that I got was a very, almost like, you ever walk outside in the middle of a storm and you take a deep breath of fresh air and you get that kind of stratus, that ozone, kind of astringent, almost like a bite to it, and we call that fresh air. That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like a sea breeze or it's not aquatic. The first thing that came to mind was the image of a garden right after it had rained, and rain was falling off the leaves of different spices and vegetables, because it's got kind of an earthy, but then you have the garden is hedged by dense forest. So you've got the woods, and you've got that ozone. Right out the gate, you've got the citrus there. It gives always a good opening or presentation, citrus does. But citrus is not what sustains or maintains. Shortly after, you've got a little bit of a violet leaf going on there. You've got you definitely have some bergamot. And you've got I really like how that sort of, it's strong at the opening, and then the violet kind of sneaks up on you, but then it just kind of drifts into a more subdued flavor. Like if you were to take a dartboard and everything but the bullseye would represent a mass appeal, UOMO would be that area. It's very familiar territory, so it's not going to be anything new, nothing new and exciting or unique. However, I really do like what it does with the freshness. I like what it does with the violet leaf. It's a very fresh, cleansing sensation and fragrance without the soap. Does that make sense? It doesn't have the vibe of kind of a generic soapy or a dial or sudsy feel to it, but it gives you that after shower fresh feeling, that sensation of like a storm does, washes everything clean. This is one of those fragrances that I would safely say would be a great blind buy for anyone. There's nothing offensive about it. It does play it safe, but that's a good thing. If you want something that you can just spray on and take off, go to work or go to where you're going to be in tight, close proximity to a lot of people, you're not gonna have to worry about it. All right, so the video got interrupted there. In other words, I had to run out the door for about 45 minutes, and honestly, it's all but gone. Like literally, some sort of woodsy, ashy, kind of left over, but very much skin scent. So if I had to say anything about UOMO, is its awesome opening. Dry down is completely gone upon dry down, almost completely gone. This is as much of a skin scent as I've ever experienced in a designer fragrance. So feel like, even considering that, I still feel like it's a really good value for what you spend on it. I think I spent no more than $15 on this 100 ml bottle. And I think it's a really elegant, cool design. And I think the fragrance itself is really nice. You've got that cedar and that vetiver balance and that bergamot working together. But more than anything, I really like the bite of ozone and that the kind of a green, earthy bite that this has at the very beginning. This does have a citrus in the opening, but again, I think that's superseded by the green and the kind of astringent aroma in this, which kind of sets it apart to a degree. But again, it doesn't last hardly at all. Heck, if this was your go-to, you would run through this bottle in, I would say, 6 months to a year, probably less. That is an impressive weight. If you were to drop this on your big toe, I guarantee you the neighbors would know. Well, that's it for my first impression of UOMO. I really like it. It's definitely a skin scent, something you can wear to the office, something you can wear around the house, you can wear around your friends. It's a play it safe, very subtle fragrance, but I do really like that ozone, that earthy green, the bergamot and vetiver and the cedar working really well together with the citrus in the opening and in the mid. There is absolutely nothing left on the dry down, however, so very much a skin scent. Something to consider, but at the price, if I were you, I definitely recommend grabbing it up and adding it to your collection. Thank you so much for joining me today with my first impression of UOMO. My name is Tommy with StudioScents, and I'll see you next time.